Today our special guests are two crypto experts that I have respect for that are also joining us at the Digital All Black National Convention. One is Miss Naja Roberts, and Naja is a Bitcoin educator and also somebody who cares about our community. She wrote, was it a book, Naja, called Queens in Crypto?
Yes, it is a
All right.
book.
All
Yes.
right, and we have Sans Inspire, who also is a crypto educator who has is a friend to the Black Business School and has done some amazing work. And so, Sans, I see here I was looking at your bio, and it says you are a speaker, AI consultant, blockchain strategist, and founder of multiple impact-driven ventures, including Losers Inspire LC, all right, and some other things. All right, so you spend years working on the blockchain and DeFi sectors. Okay, that's really interesting stuff. All right, so and I see you. It looks like you do some stuff in Shreveport. That's interesting. I like that. Isn't that where is that where 50 Cent is setting up shop with all his stuff?
Yeah.
Let's start
We
there.
was there first though. We was there first. I just want to acknowledge that and acknowledge this lady that's on camera, Miss Naja Roberts, because uh I see what they're doing now, but we established that movement first, bridging technology, entertainment. So yes, 50 is there. And Shreveport is a great place to build out right now.
Okay, so how's that going? Like, is that I saw he made the 50 Cent made that big deal with the low with I guess the government officials and he's putting up some money, they're putting up some money, and they're really trying to build out in Shreveport. Is that really what it appears to be? Like, are the people do you get a sense that people are really benefiting from this in a constructive way, or what do you think?
I think that's still, well, no, I'll say this. There has been an immediate, at least energizing to the community. 50 came in, he really, uh, put the city um, ablaze in a sense by just putting events together that, showcase community. So we're still seeing what the impact could be potentially over time, but his focus is really bringing back that entertainment aspect because Shreveport was known as Little Hollywood. So bringing that back to the city to not just re-energize the city, but the state as a whole. So we are seeing, some trickle down from that.
Okay. Yeah, but I'd like to see that. I'd like to see how that plays out, because people make big announcements and stuff, and you never know what's happening like on the ground in terms of how it's really impacting people. And I hope it's something good. I hope it works out. But I also feel like there's always that difference between how we feel about something versus what's actually happened. Like, how do you feel versus what is actually real? And so I can't wait to see what the real impact ends up looking like. So good luck with him on that, and thank you for sharing that information. All right, so first off, I want to ask everybody that's listening, how many of you have watched Bitcoin kind of crash and burn lately? Has anybody seen what's been going on with crypto and it's been really ugly. Bitcoin's been getting hammered pretty bad, and I have some perspective on that I'll share with you as well. But also, just for financial awareness sake, I encourage you to pay attention to things like this because theoretically these could become buying opportunities. So, Naja, how's your crypto doing? Do you own a lot of crypto? I mean, how do you feel about what's happening right now in these crypto streets?
Well, definitely, I will say I have watched it get hammered, as you said. Um, and the only crypto that I actually own is the crypto that I purchased way back when I joined the Black Business School, way, way back. So we will be talking 2017.
Mm.
When we had that buying opportunity when we first started. So I still have that cryptocurrency that I bought back then. But other than that, since we were no longer doing that venture with the Black Business School, I've only been buying Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has been my focus. Bitcoin has been, for a lack of better comparison, has been my 401k. So if you're doing something like that, you don't dip into your 401k every time it takes a tank, because whether you've been paying attention or not, your 401k has been dipping and it has been dipping for years. But I'll say it like that. And so just watching it, it has become a real good buying opportunity. And I will say this, For me, um, and I'm going to say case in point. My son, who sold some of his Bitcoin to purchase a car and had been kicking himself in the backside, this was an opportunity for him to buy some more Bitcoin to recoup some of the Bitcoin that he lost. And this was a great opportunity for him because he was, when it got up, over the 100,000 mark, he was looking at that excursion that he had purchased with his $8,000 Bitcoin and saying now he's got $100,000 excursion that's not worth that. And he was able to go and recoup some. So I think for a lot of us that really understand the self-sovereignty part and what Bitcoin is really going to do when it's able to do so, and we can talk about that. This is a good buying time. So Bitcoin is on sale.
Okay, so Sans, I want to show you um why I think Naja might be rich. Even though we saw here that Bitcoin's dropped a lot this week, it's dropped a decent amount this month. The last 6 months, it's dropped tremendously, 29%. Year to date, last year 21%. But if you look at the last 5 years, it's gone up 142%. That's how I know Naja's rich because the price 5 years ago was what is that? 43, 30, $35,000 or something like that. 30, yeah, about 35,000. Now it's 83,000. And then if you really go back and you were buying, say in 2017, what's the price? 83,000 now. So when Naja bought, did y'all see this on the chart? Y'all able to see my screen? This is about the time when Naja bought her Bitcoin, right? Back when it was $1,242. Does everybody see that? Let me know if y'all see that on my screen. That's pretty extraordinary. That's pretty profound, right? And when you have a gain at that level of that magnitude, sometimes it's easy to get distracted by what happened in the last year, right? When you see all this blood red and you say, "Oh my God, this is terrible." But when you go back and you look at the bigger picture, this is why we talk about what consciousness is. Consciousness, financial consciousness is seeing the big picture sometimes, right? That's one aspect of financial consciousness. Here you see that it theoretically her return was likely somewhere around maybe I don't know 60,000% or not 60,000. I'm sorry, maybe 5,000%, 10,000%, something crazy like that, right? So so since in light of what I just showed you, and in light of what your perspective, I have no idea how much Bitcoin you own, how much crypto you own, what your favorite cryptos are. Do you consider this dip to be a buying opportunity, and how has your crypto investing kind of gone for you?
I do, and I'll say this: uh, look at Bitcoin like the Tootsie Roll. When I dip, you dip, we dip. So it's something that it's like when you see it go down, go get some more. And what's critical about this is this to understand is you just show where Nike got in at 2017. But if you were to pull that to 2020, 2021, around the same time that I met her and we started collaborating, there was a tour that went around the United States to our community, showcasing the importance of getting in at that time. And back then we were told, oh, it's too high. Now we're at 80,000 and we're still thinking it's too high. So this point is more so about like the mindset, like you said, understanding this. So you understand that it's like, it's not that it's too high, it's that we are putting ourselves too far away from it to make an impact. So 2021, you could have got in at around the same time and had a lot of that increase. And right now, I think we're doing the same thing. There's no telling 5 years from now, we could be looking back and saying in 2026, it was 80,000 and now it's over 1 million or something. So not wanting to continuously be left behind by the thought that it's, too much. As far as my crypto holdings go, mine are a little bit more diverse, just because I am integrated into this. So I build within the systems as well. So it was important for me to understand what this is anyway. So I'll put my hands on multiple different assets just to see how they work. But the main two that I mainly invest in are Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Okay. Let's talk about that. You said you build within the systems. Tell me more about that.
So when I say I build within the systems, it's noticing the unique difference with blockchain assets that we call cryptocurrencies. They're not something that you just hold on and just wait for, I don't know, them to go up. That is one option that we have. But you can actually utilize these assets for your personal gain. So this is where decentralized finance comes in. I can take an asset like a Bitcoin or Ethereum and do something that's called staking. And if that's the only thing I do, that means I just put this asset up and I'm receiving what you can call something like dividends back in return for allowing the system to utilize the asset. So something that I invested in that's making me money, I am now putting it, staking it. So now it benefits the system. And then I'm getting paid back on that too, receiving a return. So this is now compounding. So instead of just holding it, we are putting it to use so that it benefits us. And there's a book called The Richest Man in Babylon, and it talks about putting your kids to work for you. And it's not a literal term that we send our kids out. We're talking about assets. Your asset should bring a return back to us. And so if we're not able to do that, I think that's where we identify that maybe we're in the wrong place.
Interesting. Okay.
I
So,
want to just make sure that the listeners are clear that there are two sides to that. And that is absolutely fantastic sense. And it does work, but you got to make sure that you're putting it into the right company because there have been several companies that have gone belly up. And then your staking platform that you put it in, then you lose your assets. So you just got to be very careful. And I have done that. I've done well on some platforms, and some platforms I've lost Bitcoin. So I just want to make sure that people are clear that all platforms are not created equal. They're just you just got to really do your due diligence in this space because we don't have time, we don't have money to be losing. Just really pay attention, folks, and really do your due diligence. And I just want to make sure that I say that because I know lots of folks that have lost money staking. So just be
what
careful.
are your
Correct.
favorite staking? What are your favorite staking platforms? I'll ask you, Naja, first, and then Sans, maybe you can share
Sans is
your
probably
perspective on that.
much more versed because I don't do it anymore because I've lost too many times.
Oh wow. Okay, Sans.
And so I'm glad you actually even said that because that's the fundamental difference when we talk about decentralized finance. So decentralized finance is taking it away from those centralized entities. Now, I will say this: it's not all uh, roses and rainbows, or it's not all positive. Okay, so when I say that, I see that the biggest hurdle that we have to get over is ourselves. Like we have a fear of being accountable of our finances because we don't trust ourselves. So in decentralized finance, we are building that trust back within ourselves. So we take that from the protocols and you learn how to utilize this network the way that the Coinbase is. So if I stake it on Coinbase, I just basically said, I trust Coinbase to do it. And we are saying that we trust ourselves, so we're going to go find out how to do it. And then once I do that, if I want to let it go somewhere else because I may not have the time or space to do that, that's fine. But I think that, this time right now, as we see not just the currency changing, but a whole system changing, our understanding needs to update as well. So when I'm talking about using these, it's in a decentralized way, which means I plug my ledger up and I'm using that direct protocol. So I'm putting it on Ethereum. And the likelihood of Ethereum or Bitcoin failing is less than a Coinbase or centralized exchange.
So basically,
Okay,
what he's
okay.
saying is you've got to pay attention, folks. You cannot give it to somebody and let them do it for you. If you're going to use any of the platforms that he's talking about, you got to get up in the morning and you got to be paying attention. You cannot allow them to do it for you because they will take your money. And even just a platform like a Circle, or I'm talking about some reputable companies that actually went I was dealing with some companies that went belly up just because of FTX, and it wasn't FTX. I wasn't dealing with FTX, but I was dealing with companies that were dealing with FTX. And so you just got to be careful because you don't know what the other person's company is doing. And so, but you got to be paying attention like crazy in this space. And that's what okay. So I'm gonna
Okay.
let you go, Dr. Boyce.
No, no. So what where I want to challenge you a little bit is what you're saying, Stance. I think I get what you're saying. You're talking about not really trusting the
Mhm.
centralized platforms and kind of leaning on the decentralization of the system as kind of the way to protect what you're doing when you do something like staking. But what about those people that are just not into the technology? That just, maybe they want to just work with one platform and just take that risk. Just say, I don't even want to figure out, cold storage versus whatever, like I just want to invest, own it, stake it, and if the system collapses, it collapses, and or the platform collapses, it collapses. What platforms are out there? I think it seems to me Coinbase would be among the safest centralized spaces to kind of do that. But am I right or wrong about that? Are there other platforms that are equally stable to Coinbase? I mean, when I see the legislation going through, it looks like the Coinbase people are right there sitting next to the president talking about how they want the whole industry to go. What are your thoughts on that?
Can I go ahead, Sans? I'm gonna let you say the
No, I'm gonna let you go first, please.
so we are on the Black Business School. And when I hear Coinbase, I just cringe. I know Coinbase, I cringe. So let me just say this to the Black Business School. We are definitely doing crypto business. And Coinbase is one of the safest platforms because Brian Armstrong inked a deal with Homeland Security. So he is giving all of your information out of the gate, first and foremost, to all of the federal entities, whether you like it or not. So let me just start there. But above all things, like it or not, face to face, he knows I don't like him and he does not like me. But he is the most racist person in this space that there is. Not that all of them are not racist, but he is the most racist. And he is the less likely to hire Black folks.
Wait,
I
so
say
you talking about Brian Armstrong at Coinbase?
yes. And
Oh,
if
okay,
you look
okay.
at his track record of how he treats his Black employees, if you Google Brian Armstrong and Coinbase's treatment of their Black employees, you will see that he is the worst. Now, buy your crypto where you want to, buy it wherever, but that dude right there will stand in your face, and he did it during George Floyd's murder, told us to leave our social justice at the door, and he could give a fat flying you know what about our social justice. So I will just say this. I have never and will never, every time I see him, he turns his head and I turn mine. And I tell and he's got a few, still got a few Black employees, but we went to bat about how he was doing and how he was allowing his Black employees to be taunted over there at Coinbase. So that being said, Coinbase and I meet people all the time that leave hundreds of thousands of dollars on his platform because they think it's safe, and it probably is, but I just can't consciously deal with that brother because he
And
is.
so I definitely hear that, right? So what about for those who don't want to use Coinbase, what options are there for people who are not technologically sophisticated? They can't go on the blockchain and program it, like they just want to invest in crypto, right? And they want to stake it, make a little bit of money. What would you say besides Coinbase? I'll go to you, Sans, and then if you want to add Naja, I want a specific answer. Give me some platforms. Give me
I say
platforms.
go over to the twins. They racist too, but go over to Gemini.
Mhm.
Go just Brian just saying he I can't do them.
Yeah, I assume
Go over
I
to
assume all
Gemini.
white
Go to the
people.
twins.
Yeah.
Gemini. Just go to
Okay.
Gemini. I would.
All right.
Yeah. Just go to Gemini.
Okay.
Gem-
Sans, what do you think?
Yeah, so again, that's why I have the stance that I have, because my thing is, um, recognizing how much actual power we have in just being able to choose. So if I understand that I live in a place that maybe the institutions are going to be set up to not consider me, I need to walk in that door knowing that. I don't need to walk in the door as if these people love me or treat. No, I need to come in here and be like, all right, we know these people might not like us. So we need to get what we need to get and get out. And that's the way that we deal with them. So whether you're dealing with Coinbase, I agree. I've done Gemini. Kraken is an interesting exchange that is also has been leading the way as far as legislation, pushing legislation. But then there's things like Cash App. You can go straight on Cash App and get it. Even more beautiful, if you get a ledger, you can plug your ledger in and it'll give you access to these exchanges. So the time has actually, we've moved past the time where you have to be very tech savvy to use these things. Some of this stuff operates very similar to your banking app. So it's like you just have to do your due diligence and align yourself with people who are going to provide you with the information you need, and then follow that to go get whatever it is that you need to get.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about this. First off, in terms of what's going on with crypto, I don't want everybody to just kind of know this. Because I'm going to tell you, I assume all white people care nothing about us. I assume that white people care about themselves. I was going to tell you, John, like, I don't disagree with anything you said. It's just more like I grew up in a culture where there was a lot of conversation about what white people, who likes us and who doesn't. And my conclusion was at the end of the day that it doesn't matter if that man likes me or dislikes me. If I can't provide for my family, you can like me, and if I'm still struggling, then that means I gotta think about something else in addition to that, right? So if Brian Armstrong said, I love black people and my wife is black and my best friends are black and I give money to black kids when I see them on the street, but yeah, he's still doing wrong by me, right? Like I say, hey, well, what about our reparations? They don't want to pay reparations. Or if I say, hey, I can't feed my family, can you help me? And he says, well, you know, that's your fault. Then that doesn't help me so much, right? So I think that when we talk about these institutions, I would say, you know, with American capitalism, don't nobody give a damn about you like that. You know, really, they don't. I mean, capitalism is a brute force, high contact sport. If you are weak, they will crush you. They will love you, and they might love you all while they're crushing you, right? They might say, well, you know, we really care about the fact that you're suffering, but the fact that you're suffering is your fault, right? So I would say, you know, in general, um, with crypto, in terms of how people feel and stuff like that, I think that that's an important conversation that could be had for sure. But I would also say that overall, it seems to me, since that Ethereum is a great place to put money because you're talking about a whole ecosystem as opposed to like Bitcoin, which I think that the crash of Bitcoin is kind of showing some of the flaws of Bitcoin. Because you remember people used to call Bitcoin digital gold. And it's not digital gold because gold is going this way, Bitcoin's going that way, right? So what do you like about, you mentioned Ethereum earlier. What do you like about Ethereum yourself, Sans?
Personally, I like Ethereum because it complements Bitcoin. And not a lot of people really see this that way. So what I'll say is this: don't be fooled by what you see right now. Because there was a time where gold was doing this and Bitcoin was doing this. So we're just in a current phase where it may be the price is going down, but the potential and its use case hasn't changed. So, and it's not going to change. So that's what makes it strong. Ethereum is just the advance of that. It started off as the same thing, as a copy of that. And then it just pivoted to allow us to build on top of it the ecosystem that we're going to need to use our Bitcoin like gold. So that's what I love about Ethereum. It gives us a place to build and express ourselves with our currencies and to see the impact of blockchain as a whole.
Okay. So Naja, when you educate our folks about Bitcoin and crypto, and I wish everybody had listened to you when you were probably talking about this back in 2017, and you know, a lot of people didn't listen back when they could have bought it for $1,000 to $2,000. what drives your passion for the crypto space in general? Like what is it that what is it that you share with people? What message do you want people to get, and what drives you to share that message?
Right now, for it's just about self-sovereignty. We've never, and even though we talk about all the financial products and all the things that we can get involved in, there is nothing that we talk about as financial advisors, and I'm not a financial advisor anymore, don't aspire to be one. There's nothing that we talk about that's self-sovereign. And everything that we invest in, they freaking control. And if they control it, they can change it, they can manipulate it. And with that, we're headed for a train wreck. And I see it. I
Mm.
see how this administration is moving. And I don't know about y'all. He's doing what the heck he wants to do. And he's doing it right now. And we are watching it right now. And the revolution is being televised right now. And he's doing what he wants to do. And I don't know. I'm telling you, there's so many signs that they're doing what they want to do. And if they can do what they want to do, and they're telling us that money is changing. When they flip the switch and money really does change, what is your money being in different financial markets going to look like when they do change the money and it's all digital? What is it going to
So
look like? Because they just
tell me
going to tell
about
you what it's
self
worth,
sovereignty.
huh?
What does self sovereignty look like for you?
That you have to you're going to have to be able to control it. So when we talk about that gold and having that gold, the self-sovereignty means I can pack up right now today if I need to move my family to another continent and be able to have that same currency that will work no matter where I go in this world right now, this very second. I can pick up this little thing that looks like a USB, or this little thing that looks like a piece of paper, and I can be able to move me and my family and that money and go over there. But I cannot do it if it's a financial instrument that only works on this continent. And so that's the
Interesting.
self-sovereignty that allows me to sleep at night. And
Okay.
once that light came on, and now that this presidency is happening, and I am hearing that resounding theme, because this is as real as it gets right now when I'm listening and watching what is happening. Because
So
this is,
would you let me ask you this? So given that the dollar was also declining under previous administrations, what would you say makes this dollar decline different from, say, the dollar declines that occurred in the past? Like, I mean, because if you go back to the Biden administration, the dollar was declining in value then as well, right? You had massive inflation during that administration as well. Why does the Trump administration alarm you more than, say, the Biden administration?
I don't think it's so much that the Trump administration alarms me more. I just think that there's certain building blocks that have been building up slowly behind the scenes. And I think as things are changing, more countries are starting to say, hey, they're allowing that to happen. And so more and more countries are getting more steam behind them to say, hey, well, if that's working, and I'm on the radio as well, so people can go back and listen to when the war with Ukraine and Russia started, and Russia said, and this wasn't during Trump's presidency, but when they started fighting, and Russia said, oh, well, we'll just use cryptocurrency to continue this war. And I said on the radio, I said, if they do this and they're successful and they continue to whoop on Ukraine, this is going to send a signal to the rest of the world that the United States can't continue to just bully people. It's going to send a signal that they have another way to fund their war without having to use United States dollar. So this is slowly sending a signal. It's little wins that are happening with cryptocurrency that are telling people that there's another way around using this dollar that they've been bullied to use all of this time. So there's little things that have happened that are giving people, again, around the world, different signals. Now, Trump has come in and he's trying to take some of that stuff back by, he's doing a bunch of different things, as you know, taking people out of the bed in the middle of the night. He's doing a whole bunch of stuff. But I think that there's been a bunch of different wins that all and everything that's happening has to do with money. And you know that. I tell people all the time, every time you open up your window, just think and look at anything, just know that Trump wakes up in the morning, all he sees is money. Everything that he does, everything that happens is about money. And so if we can get that in our heads as a community and understand that everything is about money, why is this happening? It's because of money. If we can get that in our heads and understand that our money needs to be sovereign, we need to be able to, no matter where we are in the world, be able to transact and be able to, no matter what happens at whatever time of the day, be able to get in an account to be able to move that money. We've got to be at a place, and that is where we're not. We're not there. You can't get in your 401k immediately. You can't get into the stock market immediately in the middle of the night. And that's one of my biggest fears, and one of the biggest things that drives me about the cryptocurrency space is that I am able, and I'm not saying I am able, my family is able to touch and move what we need to move immediately in the event that something catastrophic happens. We're able to get out of here, and we have the
And really
option.
like make a move, like get out
We
of.
got to.
Okay, okay.
That's
Like
it.
I want Sans to pop in on that too because I know Sans. See, did I say? Am I saying it right? Is it Sans or Sans?
Either way.
Sans, is that cool? Okay. So Sans, so on top of what Naja's point was about sovereignty, um, what does that self sovereignty? I wrote down what she said, self sovereignty. What does that look like to you, and how important is self sovereignty to you? And draw a picture of what that might look like for an average person, because you're smart. You can. It seems like you know your way around the blockchain and everything. A lot of people don't. But how might I achieve some of that self sovereignty if I just know kind of the basics?
Uh, so self sovereignty is everything, and that's what this space has revealed to me that I was missing. No matter where I went, it was like, how come if I got the money you told me this would happen and it didn't? I served in the military. I went overseas, fought for this country, came back. This didn't happen. So what is the issue? And it's like, oh, you're not a sovereign nation. You're not a sovereign being, which means you don't make your own decisions. So you look to something else to say if it's okay. And I wasn't raised like that. Like the woman that raised me, she was not like that. And so that reminded me that we are not like that. So how did we get like that? And so a lot of times we talk about our experience. Well, this is the country we live in, and this is what's going on, and this is what's happening. And it's like, yes, now stop. Did you hear what you said? Because we should be operating differently then. We should be learning from those moments in the past where they took from us what we had. And now you have a technology that's coming along and saying, hey, listen, we've seen what's going on and ownership is being taken away. So this technology is going to give you that ownership. Now, if you own something, that's the first step that you take is ownership. Do you then open up from that? And I think from that, that's where we get the ability to express that self-sovereignty. And for me, that is why I continue to say it. I built a brand around it. It's called Bank for Self. This is what it allows us to do. But this isn't something that's new to me. It's going back to, again, my grandmother. She used to keep the money right here for a reason. Because she used to teach me the biggest problem, or I say the worst thing that you could do is rely on somebody else to do for you. And I never understood that until I started to grow up. And then you're like, okay, if I rely on this thing to provide food for me and it doesn't, I don't eat. If this thing provides my money and it doesn't, then I don't eat. And I think we're at a point now where we've gotten tired of relying on outside external things because they keep failing. So this is a mindset shift. And that's the most important thing is to really thrive in this space. You got to change your mind. You have to be like, all right, look, we got to do this different, y'all. We can't rely on that. What Naja has been talking about is basically making that decision and saying, it's on me now. I got to be the one responsible for this. So my understanding needs to be there. My education needs to be there. And that may sound like a hard thing to do. And it may actually be a hard thing to do. But when has anything that has been easy rewarded you in a way that benefits you truly? Like, we are put here to make hard things easy, not the opposite. And I think that's the focus. Is we've been conditioned to just give up all of this stuff and say, make life easy. We'll do it for you. Look at where we've gotten because of that. And this is the reverse of that. It's saying, if you take responsibility now and you're accountable, you open up access to the world. This ain't even just about here. I've been able to travel to other countries based off of this alone. And I would have never had that opportunity before. Like, when I first saw uh, a black man my age sit on a news station and sit Fox News, he's sitting up straight, and he told them in their face, you can't take my money from me, so I'm not worried. That's when I said, hold on, time out. And that individual he goes by the name Bitcoin Zay. But I was like, wait, what? How can you sit on TV and be that like proud? Like, he's sitting up, like he found something that I've been looking for. And since I've been in this space, it's only taught me more about self-sovereignty, being accountable. And that I was basically had it flipped around. I wasn't being accountable, and I was just relying on those external institutions. And so this is the reverse of that. We're tapping back into our ancestral and indigenous DNA.
Well, I like that. I mean, I like your grandma. What was your grandma's name? She sounds like my
Medea.
grandma. Well, what's her name? Is she still alive or?
No, no, no. She's guiding me from heaven, but her name was Minnie McNeil. We call her Medea.
Minnie, Minnie McNeil. Is that what you said?
Hmm.
I like that, Minnie. That sounds like such a grandma's name. My grandma was Mama. She's behind me. That's our panther. Her name's the panther's name is Felicia, but my grandmother we called her Mama, and so that's pretty cool. All right, so so Bank for Self, is Bank for Self like a website or a platform or a book or?
It's actually it started out as just free education that I was giving out. Now we're building the rails for it to be on a platform. Right now, where you can actually access it is in the B1 school. So that's what I've been teaching, some of the aspects of Bank for Self. But we're now releasing that more to the public. It was something that I applied first to myself and my family to ensure that it was something that was sustainable. And now it's like, okay, this is something that more people need to know about, because it's about building the understanding of how to utilize this new system and technology. Because we didn't have that. Nobody taught us how to use the traditional system. Now it's changing. So it's like, you don't want to go in there with a misunderstanding again, because you'll completely lock yourself out.
Wow. I want everybody to know that both of our guests, Naja and Sant, are going to be participating this weekend in the Digital All Black National Convention. So we're going to start today at noon for VIP Day. Attorney Nicole Compton is doing some deep dive support and Q&A on estate planning. So if you're looking to put your estate together, make sure everything's orderly, or anything you want to understand in terms of getting your business set up or having the proper structure. She's really good with that. And the VIP day, the numbers are deliberately small. We don't have a ton of people in there, so you'll be able to talk to her directly and ask questions. Also, today, Daniel Jennings, who was here the other day, he's the brother that some of you had asked to want to work with. He's building the tiny homes in Mississippi and shipping them around the country. So he's right on the front lines in terms of being able to provide. He's really trying to get folks to use these tiny homes to make money by creating little spaces where you have an acre of land and you put a bunch of tiny homes on it for a low cost, and then you can make it an Airbnb type situation. So he'll be there as well, and you can talk to him. And I'm hoping that we can get Errol in there. Errol, I don't know if Errol's in class or not, but Errol Seamangal, who does stock options. If you don't know, stock options are a great way to generate income. And so Errol's going to come in today as well. If not today, I think Errol will be here tomorrow, but I think it might be today as well. But anyway, I'm going to put the link in the chat. If you want to join us, put the code word morning when you buy your ticket. It'll cut the cost by about 60%. So the use capital M, morning with a capital M, and I'll give you guys the link. And we start today at noon, and they're going to go until about 7 or 8 o'clock at night. So and then it's tomorrow and then Sunday as well. So it's a 3-day thing, and we're going to have a lot of fun and get a chance to learn a lot from each other. All right. So in terms of closing remarks, I wanted to circle back to you, Naja. So one of the things I was thinking about, I was processing as you were speaking, in terms of the collapse of the dollar, right? The dollar, what's going on there, right? And I want to ask everybody a question before I go to Naja. How many of you think the dollar is on the way to collapse? How many of you feel that the dollar is falling apart? That's just bad news. Things are are getting kind of messy and dangerous and things like that, right? Whether you like Trump or dislike him, how many of you just feel that there's some problems there? um okay, so Naja raised her hand. Okay, so I'm gonna let Naja respond on that. I'll say this. What I have seen is that it looks like the dollar is struggling for sure, and there's long-term issues, right? Everything with BRICS and de-dollarization of different economies around the world, a lot of problems, and we can dive into that in a different way at some point. What would you say in terms of like final remarks on in terms of how we can kind of get ready for that if we are concerned about where the dollar is going, ways we can kind of think about our finances, things like that, and maybe use crypto as a way, or Bitcoin in particular, because it seems like you're really into Bitcoin. I see you got Bitcoin on the T-shirt.
Oh,
How
yeah.
could these tools kind of help us prepare for the future that might be coming?
Tools. I'm going to say one of the tools that we have that's innate to us is really just paying attention to everything that's going on. I'm going to ask our community to not turn the TV off. That's one of the biggest tools you have is to pay attention. The writing is on the wall. Listen, when you get a text message that tells you to not watch something because of ratings, that was one of the dumbest text message that we got is to not watch inaugurations and things like that to for ratings to be down. That was to me that was stupid. Pay attention, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to things so that you can get clues, so that you know where the puck is going, so you know how to invest right, what to do. We need to be gathering as much information as we can to pay attention so you know what to take back. To ask Dr. Boyce Watkins, should I be investing in this for AI? Should I be what should you be doing? Pay attention. Don't turn the TV off. Don't talk about just don't talk about the negativity. Just try to pay attention. That's one of the tools you need to be using is listening. But with that being said, I really feel like because Trump is saying that this is going to be the cryptocurrency capital, I want everybody to just make sure that you know that he has stopped or put a pause on central bank digital currencies coming into fruition. So let me say that. But I thoroughly believe that he is doing that so that him and his sons and all of their folks can get their cryptocurrencies in first and try to make a lion's share of the money first. And then they're going to bring central bank digital currencies into play. So, what I am saying to our community is if you are going to participate in anything other than Bitcoin, again, do your due diligence and get in where you fit in and try to do what you're going to do. And I'm not pushing or advocating for any of the Trump coins or anything like that, but I am going to tell you to continue to dollar cost average on the Bitcoin side a little bit, a small amount every single day, just a little bit. And I tell my listeners $6, $10 a day, just a little bit in Bitcoin. If you're gonna play in the casino, that's what I call the other cryptocurrencies. Ethereum, as Sant said, do that. But pay attention because he's putting central bank digital currencies on hold for a reason. Because once he allows them to open that up, that is when they're gonna flip that switch and they're gonna change everything into central bank digital currencies. And they're going to do that, I believe, very soon. Because I was just in DC for on a panel And that's what they're getting ready to do. And so I think we have a very short window of time. So my thought is that we really need to pay attention, and we really need to get an understanding about the different cryptocurrencies, the different blockchains, because they are not all the same. And we got a lot of learning to do. So Fed Now is already in place. It's been in place. If you don't know what that is, I know there's a lot of education to be had. We can't do it all here. And I know Dr. Boyce's team has been reaching out to me. I'll be working a lot closer with them. I'm back from a surgery to really just go back to some more basics. So I'm gonna get back with Chanel and make sure that I make myself available to get some more basics so we can get down to some real good stuff. And so I just appreciate the opportunity. But folks, just pay attention. That's the number one tool I want to say to you all. Like them, love them, hate them. They are really pushing crypto. And we've got to get this, we got to get this understanding. And so that's it for me. I love you all. The Black Business School is the best investment that you could have made. And I'm going to say, I got an education from Bethune-Cookman College and beyond, but the Black Business School literally, and I don't just say this because Dr. Boyce is on the screen, but the Black Business School saved my life. Had I not joined the Black Business School, I would not have got the epiphany about cryptocurrency that I got, that has me where I am today financially, mentally, and able to sleep at night, because I was a financial advisor headed in a whole nother financial trajectory, thinking I was too highfalutin to hear what people had to say about crypto. And I just really appreciate what the Black Business School did for my life. And so I would just say to you, for some of you that are looking at some of these packages and thinking, you know what, this is too expensive. It's too expensive for you not to get involved. And I say it all the time. Uh, I I was paying more to the Black Business School at one time than I was my car note and my insurance put together. But it was worth it because what I was able to take from the Black Business School has changed my family's life and my family's last name forever. So I just stop there. And so I
Wow.
appreciate you. I love you all. I am about my Black folks unapologetically. And if you all are ever in Southern California, uh, look me up. I'm doing my Bitcoin stuff, but because of what the Black Business School, and again, has instilled in me, be one. I'm Black folks. I'm about my Black folks. I've always been, but more so now. I have a actual center that I opened up here in Southern California called the Kim Folks House. And I don't talk about that much, but I just opened it, and I'm all about Black folks here having a place right out here in Temecula in the middle of these white folks, and I'm giving them the what for and how to. So come see me out here, and
Hey,
I'm enjoying it. So just love y'all. Peace and blessings. Do not stop patronizing the Black Business School, because you will get the support you need financially and mentally, because you got to have people around you that think like you do, or you start to belittle. I don't want to say belittle yourself, but you start to feel like you have to conform when you really don't. You just stand strong and be who you are. And so that, again, I said I was going to shut up 2 minutes ago, but I'm going to be quiet.
wow, wow. I did not. I had no idea that all that was all coming out. That's amazing to hear, and thank you for those kind words. And I want to come visit. You said it's called the Kim Folks House. Okay,
Yes,
can you
it's
talk
called
to
the Kim
Chanel that
Folks House.
let's do an event there. Let me if is it a place where we can do like an event where I can invite some
It's
students
an
to come
event
in and
space because I get tired of
okay,
renting from these hotels and casinos, and I just want a place for Black folks to come and be able to hold their events. I'm doing
okay.
Black wines on tour, Black cigars on tour, and as Sam said, I was traveling around the country teaching cryptocurrency. and we were begging folks to use their spaces, and I'm tired of it. So I just got a event space, and we just do Black events. I'm like sick of them. So that's what
Well,
I
well,
did.
well, we'll add one more Black event to your calendar. Get with Chanel and let's make
Yes,
that happen. I'm coming to
yes,
California. I'm coming to the Kinfolk House, and I'm inviting everybody in here and beyond to join us there. And we
yes,
about to
sir.
blow it out and just I love it. I love what you're doing. I love the fact that you're a woman of action, and I respect that about you so much. And I can see your passion. So I'm gonna do my little tiny part, and I'm coming in
All right.
2026. Let's make it
And
happen.
nothing that you do is tiny, my brother. Nothing you do is tiny. Everything you do is absolutely fantastic. And everywhere I go, I hear about Dr. Boyce Watkins, and you are doing great things. And we love you. We appreciate you. And we see you up in the middle of the night doing your thing. And hats off to you. And we all want to be just like you when we grow up. So you have an incredible rest of your day on
Well,
purpose.
you better stop. You're making me blush. Thank you so much for saying for those kind of words. So now I got my jet fuel for the day. We about to go rip the roof off this sucker. Okay, so thank you, and that was amazing. And Sans, you had some parting words you'd like to share in terms of what we can go forward, moves we can make to kind of take advantage of what's going on with crypto and by the way, you should come and hang out with us when I come to the Kinfolk House. I don't know where you live at, but you should come through also. But go ahead, please.
No, that's as soon as she said it, I was already marking it down because yeah, now it has a space. I don't have to try to pull up on her where she was working at like I did before. But I just say stay right here because um, we're bringing all this information here. So in saying that, it's continue to do your due diligence outside and know that when you're here, you're going to be provided for. And that's important because once we establish community, what we're actually establishing is trust. And with blockchain, that's very important. But that trust is through validation. So the trust that I have in this platform and the trust that this platform has in me is because of the network around me. I get this opportunity because you guys are familiar with Naja, and I worked with Naja. So that's what we want to do. That is actually what is going to insulate us from all that outside noise. When we start to continue to build eternally and say, well, I'm gonna put this person over here because I validated them. And that's what we're talking about in blockchain is not just going out because somebody told you it was going to go to the moon, not just going out because it's 50 cents and you feel like you can afford it, but actually understanding what this thing is and validating it as a use case that you can use real world. And then once you do that, all you're doing is checking back to make sure nothing has changed, nothing is gone awry, but you have been validated. Your network is validated. So now we're just adding to that. So stay here and allow it to continue to be built. And then on your own, do your research, ask your questions, and don't be afraid to fail. Like, don't be afraid to lose. Like, the business that I started, the reason why my company is called Losers Inspire. And if you're following me, you will see more of this explained in the month of February. It is because of us. It's because of my ancestors. It's an acronym that stands for love outreaching, set expectations, rewarding self. We were told that we were the losers, that we had no value, that we were not important. And when you look around, it's like, actually, you have inspired the world based off of your loss and your continuous resilience. Like, this is why we're in this spot. I'm not here if it's not for the ones before me that kept going. So there's no way that I'm about to drop the ball or put it down. I have to keep going too. That is our responsibility. And you take that as far as you can go. If that's 10 steps, go 10 and put it down and let somebody else pick it up. So continuing to push us forward. Like Nip said, the marathon continues. And I'm just big proponents in believing in ourselves and watching the miracles that actually creates in the world.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much, Sans. I appreciate those inspirational words. And also, I want everybody to know I'm putting the link in here if you want to join us and speak to our experts directly. we're doing the All Black National Convention digital version that's happening this weekend. Starts today at noon Eastern. Today, Friday, January 30th, and I'm going to be there for part of the time. Attorney Nicole Compton is doing some training today on things related to estate planning and also the legal setup for your business, things like that. And the link is in the chat, and also use the code word morning with a capital M, and it'll give you guys the special discount you get. Also, for our experts, they will be there as well this weekend. So the uniqueness of the ABC Digital is that not only do you have a wide variety of people coming in. I mean, if you go to the landing page, you'll just see so many people that our team has worked very hard to arrange to come in and speak with you. But also, you'll get to talk to them directly, right? So the groups are kept deliberately small. You can go into breakout sessions and do business with individuals, make connections and contacts. Because I know a lot of you are doing similar things. When Naja talks about what she's doing with her family, I know for a fact a lot of you are doing great things with your family, and I want to encourage that and facilitate that, and help you figure out a way to do that. And Sans talks about some of the things that we have to do as a community, and this is how it gets done, right? So that's happening this weekend. The link is in the chat, so feel free to click on that. Now, one more thing I want to mention really quickly. So Naja, where can people go to find you? Social media, website, anything like that?
Yeah, I was just I'm at Naja Roberts on all social media, but I haven't been posting because I've been building out the Kim folks house. But they can send me a text message and I put my text message information in the chat. But I'm
Okay.
gonna be posting for Black History Month because the ancestors are calling me and I understand the assignment. So I am on there. But yeah, they can text me and I put my information in the chat.
Okay, yeah, I see your number in here. Okay, so she's doing it like Mike Jones. Remember when Mike Jones gave his phone number in the song? So her number here is 424-317-7373. That's 424-317-7373. Sans, where can people find you?
I'm putting that right in the chat right now. It's going to be, you can type in at Mr.NSPIRE. The number's 1295. Put that on any platform, will pop up. Our website is www.lifeinspire.com. And then that way you'll be able to see what we're doing. And we're also building that space out. So, you'll be provided more information. The biggest thing that I say is make sure that you reach out to us and let us know through DM, through email. That way we can put you in the loop. So you're getting some of these opportunities that are going to be coming out, especially in this next month, because February, we are doing a challenge that is inspired by our ancestors and is meant to empower us. So we love for you to participate in that as well.
Okay, all right, awesome, awesome. Okay, everybody, so you will hear from me later on today. I'll send you guys a couple of text messages. And also, I want to know what you all are doing. So if you have some great stuff that's going on in your world and you're an expert at something that can add value to the space, you will get a link to apply, submit your credentials, and we'd love most of the people when we're looking for experts, we look here first. You guys support the school. We want to support you. So if you have something going on that you think can help others, then we want to know about that. So you'll get the link. Make sure you're on the text list. That's where I text everything out. You can be on the list by texting the word morning to the number 87948. So text morning to 87948. So God bless you, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you, Naja Roberts and Sans Inspire. Good to see you as well. I'll see you both this weekend at the ABC Digital. And everybody have a great day. See you today at noon.